Good morning YouTube, we are Alternative Smallholding. It is Sunday, we're going over speed bumps, so we're a little bit wobbly, sorry. We're in a bit of a race against time, as we always are at a weekend, and right now we're trying to get to our allotment association to pay for our membership for the year, because I got a reminder this morning that it was a year today that we got our keys, so we should go and pay for the plot we've got now, really. So we're going to go and do that, and there may be some information that we can share with you from this that could be quite exciting and change our plans for the year a little bit, can't it? Yes. So I don't know how busy it's going to be there. The Allotment Association have this fantastic shop, and it seems to do something to Roo and make her a little bit crazy whenever we go there. But if I can film in there, I will, because it's just like this little Aladdin's cave treasure trove for gardeners. It's St. Patrick's Day, and that is apparently when people should be planting potatoes. So there'll be a potato video coming up. You've asked for it over and over again. I've had so many comments on all of our potato reveals. How do you do it? Can you do a step-by-step instructions? And this year we're going to. So let's go buy potatoes. You okay, Roo? Roo?
Hello. Sorry.
You reading your book?
Yeah.
Got your potatoes? Our main crop. Or Valor. But we've got all of our first earlies, so we need to decide on some other main crops, I think. What do you want? You're just happy with Valor, aren't you? Yeah, we'll go to B&Q now. Right, so we've been in. Apparently my rent was due in October. Nobody told us, did they?
No.
Nobody told us. It wasn't
when you took it out.
No. We took it on in March, and she told me it's an annual payment. So due every year. She didn't say due every year in October, she just said due every year. And nobody's contacted me. Nobody's told me off for being like 6 months late. But it's paid now anyway. It's your little seat? Polytunnel planning. Beardy Dude's got 2 days off next week. Hopefully we're going to make a start so that we're ready for the start of the growing season. We're looking at wood. And Ben, Jess's little boy at Roots and Refuge, did a video where he filmed and he followed Maya around, and he's seen some wood, and he said wood, wood, wood. You have to watch it to understand, but it was absolutely adorably cute. And now whenever we're looking at wood like this, we say we're going to see wood, wood, wood. Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. We just drove past a massive skip full of wood, loads of wood. We're going to go and see if it's usable, and if it is, we're going to knock on the door and see if we can steal it all. Oh, sorry dude. A big skip full of timber. She says we can have whatever we want.
I'm slowly going back to the plot. I know it's bumpy because I'm trying to go a little bit fast.
Wood, wood, wood. For free. We're going to have to go and get another load. But these are okay, I think. Good solid pieces. It'll be really useful on the project. Is that rain? Did it just rain? It better not rain now, we just got here. Now some of you may remember this plot here. This plot of land This was our growing space last year, and it's half the size of what we currently have now. Now, we gave this up in October and nobody has taken it on, and so we went down to the allotment today and said, if nobody's on the waiting list and nobody wants it, can we take it back? And so they said yes, and now we've got our old half plot and then our full plot next to it. So we've got 2 plots, or a plot and a half. So that means that this plot is the potato plot. This is where we're going to grow all of our potatoes this year, because one thing that we had with the plan was we didn't know where we were going to put all the potatoes. So now it means that we've got all this space from here all the way up to, can you see the box there? That. And from the pathway there across to this pathway here. So what we're thinking is the old greenhouse from the other plot, the Alton greenhouse, we're going to hire a van. I think B&Q do a thing where you can hire a van for 2 hours for £20. If we take that greenhouse down, get it ready, hire the van, go fetch it, bring it back, unload it, we can do that in 2 hours, because it's literally just going to be loading the van and unloading it. And we're going to bring it back and we're going to put it on this plot, and then the rest of it will be potatoes, with a few other things mixed in as well, but predominantly potatoes. Now, I'm going to film a potato video in a minute to show you the varieties that we're growing this year, and also show you how we grow them in pots. And we're going to be starting off our first earlies today, but that's going to be a separate video. So if you're interested in how we get our fantastic potato yields, what we do, stay tuned, because what this now means, the wind's supposed to be gone, it's not gone. It was just not as bad as it was. But what this now means is that we will have an adjusted layout for the top of the plot. It means that we can think about what we're doing with the polytunnel. Are we making it bigger? Because we'll have more space now. And also we can finalise the layout of all the crop beds and what's going on down the bottom, which is where we was going to put the greenhouse if we were able to bring it back. So there's lots of adjustment going on, and I'm going to do my March plot tour when all that's finalised, and I'll walk you around and I'll show you what we've done so far and then what it's going to be later on in the year. So we've got lots of planning to do, loads of work to get on with. This polytunnel needs sorting out because I've got plants that need to go in there very soon. So we're not doing the greenhouse today because it is still too windy and we're not sure we've got enough time, and I don't want to leave it so that half of the glass is in, half of it out, and then it blow out and smash. So we're not doing that today, we've just got 101 other things to do. So Beardy Doo says that he is going to try and put the glass in today. If that's what he wants to do, I shall leave it up to him. But I have loads of other things that I want to get on with. Number one is down here with the onions. So I want these cages out. So I'm going to go on a hunt around for some more of this tubing so I can make more arches down here, and I'm going to take those cages out, but I have to be careful because some of the onions have grown through it down here, so I don't want to pull those up and damage them. Okay, so I have got the little wireframes out of the onion bed and rehooped that, and I've brought it over here to what was the temporary herb bed. And what I'm going to be doing is, can you see these? I would be planting some early beetroots. Now, I've never done them this early before. I usually have them just starting off, but now these ones are an inch or so tall and they're ready to go out. We sow them in modules rather than direct sowing them. I find that they do better that way. But what I want to do is I want to see if I really can get an early crop of early beetroot. This packet of seeds cost me 10p and I just thought, well, for 10p, don't smash the glass. For 10p, it's a worthy experiment. So I'm going to put these moduled grown beetroot into the ground, and then I'm going to cover them with this A-frame and cover them with fleece and see if that helps them get off to an early start. But the thing is, this is a no-dig bed and we haven't been able to add any material to it yet, so it is literally just the bare soil that we had before, but it hasn't been dug. So I found something in my garden and we're going to start using this, and we're going to use this to create a little trough. Let me show you. So this is an old bag of cheap multi-purpose compost that I found in the garden. What I thought is I'll take handfuls of this and lay them down along where I'm going to put the beetroot in, and then I'll pack some more around them. And the idea behind that is it will give a little bit looser ground for the beetroot to swell and grow into. This is quite clayey soil, so if it gets very wet and then dries, it just sets like concrete. By adding the compost or any organic matter to the ground, it gives them that little bit more loose soil to expand into. Now, I don't have the money to lay down 6 inches of compost all over the beds that we're growing in this year. So I'm going to use this as an experiment to see if this works. Now, we did do it on our last plot last year and it worked really, really well. We found that things grew much faster and the crops actually swelled, whereas during the drought last year we found that things like beetroot didn't do very well because the ground was just too hard. But where we'd used the compost to make a trough for them, or a line, then they did much better. So we're going to try it again this year, but we're going to try it with early sown modular beetroot. So I'm going to put you down and I'll show you how I do it. Have used direct sowings before, and then I've also done sowing single seed beetroot into module cells. I watched Charles Dowding do this a while ago, I can't remember how long ago now, and then we've done our beetroot this way since, which is probably 2 seasons I think it was, and we found that they do much better this way. By adding the loose soil around them, we're learning lessons from last year. When we had the drought, the beetroot really struggled to expand, but we've added this compost around them. Can't afford to do the whole bed, I can't afford to add 6 inches of compost to the whole bed, but I can do it in the individual rows where the plants are. By doing this, hopefully, even if we do get either really pounding rain or we get a really dry summer, hopefully this means they will be more likely to succeed and grow, because last year was terrible. The drought was horrific. So lessons learned. And that's what we're doing this year, learning from what happened last year. So there we go. That's the beetroot planted in their module groups, so that you pick the larger one and then tuck the smaller ones back in, they continue to grow. That's the idea. with their loose compost so that they can hopefully swell better than they did last year. And the experiment is that we're planting them on the 17th of March, which is earlier than I ever have before, and covering them with fleece to see if we can get an early crop. This part on the end, I'm going to sow some turnips, direct sowing a seed, so I'll show you how I do that too. Right, so this little patch here, which is about 45 centimetres by 30, is essentially an extension of this beetroot row. So I'll come down here and it comes up to the edge of where the path is. So it also defines the path on this side, and this defines the path that runs down the middle between these two beds. In here I am going to direct sow some of our snowball turnips, which we love, and they come up really fast and do really well. So these are turnip snowball, which are our favourite ones. We literally eat them when they're the size of a golf ball, any bigger, and we find that they lose their sweetness. This is the turnip that converted us into eating turnips. So what I'm going to do, same principle as when we sow in the radishes, is make a drill. So that's about a centimetre deep line, and I think in this space I'll get 3. The benefit of doing things in lines, like I said, is you know that that row is your seedlings, and anything else in between or anything that looks different is probably a weed. Turnip seeds are tiny little black seeds like brassica seeds, also like radish seeds, and I'm just going to sprinkle them along the drills. Not too worried about them being too close. If I do get a bunch of them all in one space, then I'll just thin them out. I'm hoping that with this nice loose soil and the compost having a little feed in it, then they'll come up quickly and swell quickly, and then we can have lovely fresh parsnips. Parsnips? Turnips. And if we find that we've got too many in one go, then we just freeze them, as they freeze really well. So once they're sowed, I just pinch the soil back over the top of the row, and I find that's perfectly adequate for making sure that they're covered and happy in their little beds. Now, it's not supposed to rain, but it is going to, so I'm not going to water these in. Let's see how far Beetroot has got. How are you getting on? All right. Here you are as well. Look, there's glass in. I think Roo wants us to go and see her. Want me to help you in a second get the roof glass? Yeah, cool. May actually have a greenhouse by the end of the day after all. That's really exciting. That means that I can bring up the seedlings that are ready to go in here, that have been hardened off in our lean-to and outside, and then I can sow some seeds in there, our really like cold hardy seeds, like some of our brassicas. So we'll be doing that this week hopefully. But let's go see what Roo's doing, because Roo wants to say hello. What you doing, Trouble? You're reading. You're on page 8 already. You only started 5 minutes ago. Is it nice in there? Yeah. Snugly warm? You want me to close the boot? Is it getting a bit drafty? Yeah. Okay, I'll leave you to read your book. Thank you. See you in a minute. Another direct sowing that I want to do today is underneath this cloche. I want to move this cardboard and get our first sowing of carrots in. I don't know what variety to go for. I don't know to do like a row of sweet candle and then like a row of like rainbow mix of like a black nebula and atomic red. I think I might do that. A row of sweet candle and then a row of mixed. This soil looks okay. It was used for carrots a few years ago. And does have a good amount of sand in it already. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do with some of this compost that I found in the garden, I'm just going to put a layer over the top of that cheap compost, which will give them a some nutrients to germinate, and then hopefully they can send their roots down and be good, healthy carrots. Maybe I should get Roo to come and sow the carrot seeds. Maybe we should have a competition. She can do one side, I can do the other, because she's renowned for growing good carrots and I'm renowned for growing bad carrots. I'm gonna go and call her. Hello. Come here. Hi. Come here. Right. Look, we're up here. Okay, I've got an idea. I want to know what you think about it. You know that you can grow carrots and I am generally not the best at growing carrots. Yeah? What do you think about a carrot challenge?
Carrot challenge.
We'll do a row of carrots each and we'll see who grows the best carrots. Yeah? Well then. Burnt. Right, the rules, Missy. What on your face? The rules are, we are both going to grow sweet candle carrots.
Sweet.
Sweet candle carrots. Sweet. Okay, and we're going to do a line each down the centre of this bed, and then okay, we'll see which ones germinate the best and which ones grow the best. Place your bets now. Comments below. Who's going to grow the best carrots? Me or
Me! 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 Me!
That's Roo's row. And that's Mommy's row. Right, don't throw them too close together.
How many?
Just put them down the line. Not too close together. Spread them out more. Spread them out more. Right. Right, 17th of March, okay? We have both sown a row of sweet candle carrots. This is the challenge. Who grows the best carrot? Okay? Yeah. Yep. We've done a row each, and then what do we win? What does the best carrot win?
If I win, I get yours. If you win, you get gardening stuff.
So, if she wins Robux, which is money version of her game that she plays. And if I win, I get gardening stuff. Okay. Deal is on. That's the cloche back over the top of the carrots now, and we're just going to leave them, see what happens. The ground is damp, so they shouldn't need any more than that to germinate. I'm going to go and help the bearded dude with this greenhouse. This is the last side panel going in, then we've just got the roof to do. That's all the side panels done. Now we've got to do the roof, and it will be finished. Where's the batteries? These clips, this type. These ones are really useful for the roofs. One is not square, it is there. Go boo boo. Don't run your finger down the side of a piece of greenhouse glass to try and reposition it, because you get rather a thick, deep cut. Deal with it later. I seem to have a problem with two pieces, so I'll go inside and show you. In here, this piece and this piece, they both seem too small, don't they? And we don't have any other glass. Everything else fits fine, but those two pieces, like up here, so this one and this one, they won't go in. And I really don't want to leave it with some glass out, because I don't want the wind to get in and then blow glass everywhere. the sun's starting to go down, the battery's about to go on the camera, and we're in a bit of a pickle. Bit of a pickle. I thought Roo was coming, but she's not. I'm going to say goodbye to you now, guys. This has been Jazz, Beardy Dude and Roo at Alternative Small Holding. We have done all sorts today. I've told you the news that we've got our old plot. We've got that back, and that is going to be transformed again this year. We don't know if we're going to do no dig on it or not, but we will be starting that all over again. And it's funny because we got that plot on the 17th of March in 2018, and then we got it back on the 17th of March 2019. So do you want to say goodbye, baby?
Bye-bye!
We've also sown carrot seeds, and we started mine and Roo's carrot challenge, and we've done a early frost protection experiment with beetroot and sown some turnips, and we're just going to have a little bit more of an argument with this greenhouse, and hopefully I'll be able to update you more tomorrow. So thank you for watching, take care, hope you've had a lovely weekend, and wherever you are I hope the weather is good for gardening. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye bye. It's done. We've just got to put the door on.
Looks amazing.
Just the door to go on, and it's finished. Ta-da!